Now, how do you find, because I've been around restaurants pretty much all my life. That's what my parents did.
Yeah.
And the majority of the restaurant owners that I've watched are people who worked in the restaurant industry, had a lot of hard time balancing family and work. And it always seemed to kind of backfire on the family end because they were so dedicated to the work. How do you find yourself balancing it? Like, how do you keep yourself sane?
That's still a delicate balance because well, thank God for my wife, and she's a stay-at-home mom, and without that, we wouldn't have been able to do. I wouldn't be able to do this career. She's super supportive of it, even though sometimes frustrated by the hours or the demand that it takes, which is a hard part of the industry because it's not like a ownership team saying, "Hey, you got to do this." In fact, they more often than not will be like, "You got to take some time off for yourself. You got to dude, you delegate that." But the owners are not the ones driving me per se, or really driving any of the best people in our company. We have great nightlife people, we have great restaurant people, we have great operators, we have such a great security. Like all those people at the head of the great beverage program, all the people at the heads of those programs are somewhat self-driven at a cost, at a cost of themselves and their personal life and their families. It's not a foolproof system. I haven't figured it out yet. But, I get up every morning with the kids, no matter what time I get home. I try to, once in a while.
Sure,
But almost, most of the time, 5 days a week, I see the kids off to school, give them smooches, see them off, go to work. I try to take Sundays and Mondays off, mostly religiously. Obviously, we just came off of December. That season is kind of out the window. But for the most part, anytime I can, I try to, maximize a little time. I try to take my vacation time now. It's important to me to balance it, but it's a work in progress still.
Sure, yeah. So, from what I'm understanding, because you're so self-motivated and trying to get a certain result for the company that you work with because you believe that that's what you should be executing, that's where you find yourself getting more stress. It's not necessarily the people that you're working for as much as the internal battle of like, did I do what I felt I needed?
I wouldn't even call it stress. I would call it the demand of the job because like family restaurants, they're all encompassing. Like it's not like the ownership team or even myself. Well, I guess it would be self-drive because you want to be excellent at it. That's something that I think we all could take credit for. So we do want to be the best, but it's the industry in general. Like it's such a details to be the best. It takes the biggest compliment and backhanded compliment we get is like, oh, these places really run themselves at this point. And when you say that, it's like, yes, they look that way, but they don't. And they never did. And nor will it last. Hopefully what we built last some period of time without us at this point because we have built the systems and I think it would. But would it be as good if people aren't leading this charge? If you're not, and then the demand of something breaks, something happens, things happen. We had a fire at a venue recently. Like there's things that, there's constantly something that takes you in, opening a place is all encompassing. You need to order everything. You need to have all the systems in place. You need to put all the people in place. Then you suck at it. You got to do it for 2 weeks with relatively minimal training because as much as you could do a classroom training, it teaches nothing until you're hands-on and you're in the space and you see all the things you missed. And we've opened so many places. And that almost never gets easier because it's basically classroom train, train in another venue, open the doors, change everything.
Yeah. Customize it to this situation.
Yeah, because it's not, every place is different. Every place has different nuances. Some of the systems end up working, most of them don't. And everything needs to change to become what this place is. And that a lot of times is dictated by the guest once you figure out what that is. So it's like, it's an all-encompassing industry because it takes so much detail and so much time and so much practice and there's so many people and concerns. When you get through all that, it leaves very little to balance it. So it's not even a stress to me. If I was single and I was young, I would do it 7 days a week. I liked it.
Yes.
I liked it
Yes.
when I was doing it when I was younger. I was doing that. Mm-hmm. So I don't mind working. I like putting things together and accomplishing a goal, or at least seeing when the goal's broken that it happened, which is another, kind of common thing in the restaurant industry is like when you have your best teams and everybody's pushing the same way, the success just kind of rolls in that way. I don't really have to measure it in budgets and numbers because I know it. I can feel it, but I don't see it till afterwards. Like, oh God, that was a great team and we just lost 3 of them, and then you go, oh, you're gonna have to rebuild, and it's like a constant cycle of all of it.
Right.
So I guess the long and short answer, or the long answer is, it's a work in progress. You really have to work at balancing your life because a lot of people are divorced. A lot of people can't take care of their families the way they're supposed to. A lot of people are unhappy. You really need a love for it and a passion for it. And I have all those things, and I have a bigger love for being home and being with family, obviously. But it's you have to balance that with the demands of being if you're going to stay in this industry, being the type of person you want to be in it, or the type of company you want it.
All right. Well, I mean, you're at the highest level of what I would consider the restaurant industry when it comes to how do I say this? When I look at the venues that you manage and what Big Night Live is, you have such a variety, but more often than not, you are the peak of what anybody will experience in Boston and where you guys are at. Your locations always seem to be the ones that people want to try first when they're going to somewhere, So the burning desire you have to deliver that, I guess, from my understanding, what you're saying is like it comes from internal wanting to be there, do that, and be okay with if we lose someone, how do we fill that and train that person to continue what the previous person that was really good is doing.